Hey y'all, Instinct Survivalist coming to you today with a review of the EDC Keychain from survivalhacks.com. We're going to take this thing and run it through the ringer today, see what we can do with it, and see if some of the hype lives up to it. So stay tuned for that. We'll get a closer look of it and then run through some tests. Okay guys, so let's take a look at this thing. First off, we've got the carabiner. Nice little clip on your bag or your kit, if you will. It does not mark on here what the rating of this is. I can go ahead and guarantee you it is not rated for climbing. Do not use it for climbing, period. They do not make a claim to that, but I am saying don't use it for climbing. You've got a security whistle or an emergency whistle, and hey, let's just I would say that's pretty loud, enough to get the dogs off the porch. We'll see if they'll come up here or not. The other part of this is you got the 4-foot of paracord, which is good, great in a pinch. And again, keep in mind this is an EDC kit, a survival kit. So 4 foot may be beneficial for some things. Certainly you're not going to go build a village with it, but it is going to be beneficial in an emergency. All right, keep in mind it's paracord. Should have a inner lining to it, or in the sheets should have other strands in it, and we'll cut it open to make sure. The last part on this is actually got the most stuff in it, and this is the waterproof pill bottle or pill type bottle. What I did notice in this is that if you pulled real hard on this, the ring separates. If it were me, okay, if it were me and it was something I was going to get, I think the kit's worth it so far. I would actually switch this ring out for a heavier duty one. But that's me, because if you get it caught on something or get it pulled on something, yeah, it's going to come apart. So let's look at the waterproof pill bottle. And I keep stressing waterproof because we're going to actually test it. That's what the rocks in the container is for. It's kind of like a box. Once you put it in or pull it out, make sure that you're going to be able to get it all back in. So let's see what we have. All right, kind of like a spring comes all the way undone, and that's open and way to go, right? And we'll come back to actually, let's go ahead and do that. So they claim this is waterproof. I say I've got a paper towel in my pocket, and some rocks. And the reason I put the rocks in there is because I want to make sure that it sinks in the container. And the reason a paper towel is because paper towel is usually pretty easy to soak up stuff. That's what it's designed for anyway. So we'll see if we can get this thing closed up in here. Good and snug. And what we'll do is we'll drop it in here and then come back to that. So for those of you that are interested, it is down in there. Let's pull up to here. It's definitely down in there. So we'll come back to that. Okay. All right. So let's look at some of the other tests. Right. We've got our fishing line. Great, fantastic. In here is fishing hooks. So you've got 2 fishing hooks and fishing line. In this little baggie, we've got small safety pins, 2 floats, 2 sinkers. Here, let's just make this easier. All right, we have 2 floats, 2 safety pins, 2 swivels, 2 sinkers. Okay, again, if we're putting together an entire kit, this is going to give us what we're looking for. Okay, so we'll put that down there. All right, the next part, this is a emergency wire saw. We're going to actually test this out a little bit more, because these always bother me a little bit as far as the abilities or capabilities. So what we'll do is we'll do a close-up of that working as well. They give you a nice little piece of cotton tinder. So you'd rough it up like you normally would, tear it apart, and start your fire with that. We'll come back to that in a moment. The other thing is, damn, Sorry folks, I was actually surprised. That's actually pretty sharp. So it's a double-sided, kind of a chisel point, if you will, blade, and then a sawtooth blade here, and it's called a ring finger saw. So you can take and put your finger in there. If you've got small fingers, you got big gorilla fingers like mine, it's not going to work. Their whole thought pattern behind the knife and the fishing kit is they want you to be able to go from beginning to end, right? They want you to be able to cut wood, excuse me, cut wood to create a fire, be able to start a fire with your tinder, and then cook a fish on it. So that's the overall purpose of it. I want to see how well this strikes. Get some of that oxidation off, or some of the coating off, if you will. Not too bad. So let's actually start up a fire bundle with that. What do you think? A little tinder bundle. Yeah, being me, I just happen to have one here. This should get us a good bit. That's enough for me to start with my normal fire starter, so it should be fine. My biggest thing, and I know it fits inside the bottle, my biggest thing is just the size of it. That's just a thing, right? It's an emergency kit. Deal with it. Lost it. I do see with this size you had to pull, not push. There you go. So we got fire there, buddy. Knock it off on the ground and deal with it that way. Don't want it to be too big of a mess because we actually have a fire ban, so there's that. All right. And I'll pour some of the water out on that. So I would say that that's a pass, right? And yes, that's warm because I flipped my fire on top of it. Okay, so next test is going to be cutting the wood, and they say that you can stick your fingers in the holes. Problem is my fingers are way too small for that, or way too big for these small holes. So we'll cut away and we'll look at the saw. I'm probably going to find 2 small sticks to stick in there. I don't know, I may just grab it by the ferrules and see how it goes and cut that up. So let's do that. All right, y'all, so this is actually my second take. There's my first cuts, and the reason I'm doing it again is because I did want to add the pieces of wood. It started rubbing my fingers raw, making it a little more difficult, so we'll give this a shot. Hopefully I don't have it bound up enough, and I'm actually starting fresh, so starting below the other cuts. So that's one of the things right there that I'm not a fan of these saws about. I've had, and I mean just about every kind imaginable, even one that is a chainsaw with loops on the ends, a chainsaw blade with loops on the ends, and it becomes a pain in the butt. However, you know, again, think about this being emergency situation, right? I'm about to die or I eat, I need a fire or I die, that type of thing. That would be where this is very, very beneficial in using this, and yeah, worth the, I don't want to say the trouble, but yeah, worth the trouble. So what I'll do is I'll get this out. We'll see how deep that cut is. And you saw it cutting, so here's my cut that I was just doing. You can see just in that matter of time how deep those are. Let's see if I can get that lined up. How deep those are. Not too bad. Like I said, if it was an emergency situation, I'd sit here and play with it all day long if it meant me eating. All right, folks, so in all the things that we've done, one of the biggest tests was the water bottle, or the pill bottle in the water, to see if it was waterproof. Now, time passed by. I've stopped the camera. I've had to go do some things with the dogs. And we'll say the time has been around 20 minutes. So I'm now getting back to that part. But let's undo it. And let's just see how waterproof this is. Now it does have an O-ring, which should give us what we're looking for. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that is dry as a bone. All right. Those of you following at home, you do not see any wet spots on here. From one end to the other, there's no wet whatsoever. Now you can be able to tell with a brown paper towel better. I don't have any brown ones, but you can see it's not wet. So I would say that's a pass as well. Thank you, little rocks, for helping me out. So guys, that's it. I mean, that's what this is all about, is another way to add things to your kit to ensure your survivability when you're out and about. So the only thing left in this, clear this out a little bit. The only thing left in this is actually taking apart the keychain itself. And I told you I ain't afraid to do that. So let's go and start breaking that down. The paracord on the keychain, I should say. Once you get it to that point, there we go. You start being able to break it down, undoing it, and going from there. And then me being me, well, for those of you NCIS fans, Gibbs rule number 9, always carry a knife. All right, so we do have inner strands in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we've got 7 strands in there. So we can assume that it is true 550 cord. And again, we're looking at 4 feet when I undo it all. Will this help me in a pinch? Absolutely. The reality is everything helps in a pinch, right? Everything helps when you're in need. Everything that you have as far as a resource goes. And again, you're thinking about survivability, right? Am I going to get out of this alive? What do I have as far as my level 1, 2, and 3 zones? 1 being what's on me, 2 what's around me, you know, my immediate vicinity, and 3 what's around me at a far length, maybe, you know, within 100 yards. So if I continue to go ahead and do this, okay, so the whistle has its own loop, which is good, right? Because then I put it back on my carabiner, I clip it to my bag, I'm good to go. Or back on there, and I now have my kit. The only thing I'm missing is my paracord, and yeah, we're looking at about 4 feet there. So yeah, we've got that, and again, 7 strands in here, both of them set down, so that's good. All right, guys, so there you have it. It's the EDC Survival Keychain by survivalhacks.com. Now, again, my only 2 concerns, and if I had to guess, you know, out of everything that we looked at, the only 2 concerns I had was, number 1, the ring attaching the water bottle. I would improve that. So Survival Hacks, if you're looking, make that stronger. And then the other, you know, guys, I hate to say it like this, but I have to. It is what it is, right? It's a wire saw. Will it do in a pinch? Yes. Will I survive a day? Yes. It's wrapped and braided in there, if you will. I'll say it's a twist. Yeah, it looks like a two-ply twist, maybe even a 3. If I have a reading glass, I'll be able to tell. So it looks like a 3-ply twist in there. It'll work in a pinch. Is it something that I would use on a normal day-to-day basis? No. But you look at the whole purpose of survivability, right? What do I have in my zones? What do I have around me? What can I utilize? Things of that nature. So that's great. I know the question's going to come up. I know it's going to come up. Elk Ridge folder, okay? It's the ballistic folder. inevitably I'll do something, I'll get a note, hey, what is this or what is that? I'll go ahead and cut that one off. It's the Elk Ridge folder, ballistic folder. So overall, this 10-piece kit, I would say it's a pass. It's a thumbs up, if you will. I like the fact that it's got a waterproof pill bottle. Now I can go in and add things. If I wanted to change out the fishing kit, maybe I would do so. Me personally, I'll probably just put everything back in and utilize that, stick it in one of my other bags, because I think it's a good kit. The knife, guys, I'm impressed with this thing. All right, a little chisel handle, and then the rigid edge, serrated edge, if you will. I wouldn't cut with that. It's rounded off, if you will, but great for striking the ferro rod. And then the knife, although not what I would consider razor sharp, it does put some scrape. You can sharpen it up if you want to. Not too bad, but it will get the job done. If I needed to gut a fish, I could use that without a problem. Certainly not as sharp as my Elk Ridge, but again, things I'm going to do with my kit is I'm going to go in and hone it just a little bit. I'm going to change it up just a little bit. I would put a better edge on that. Not a big deal. It's just the way I like my knives. Will it work? Will it do what it needs to do? Yes. So again, overall, I would consider this success. The whistle, the carabiner, the waterproof pill bottle, the whole 9 yards, another 4 foot of paracord. I can always use cordage. One of the hardest things to replicate in the wild. So, all right, guys, that's it. That's everything. Thanks for everything you do. Thanks for the tweets, the retweets. Hey, guys, we got a lot of things coming. This being the first review after the giveaway. I think maybe the feds are looking for me. I'm just kidding. This is the first big review after the giveaway. Actually, the first video after the giveaway video. So we'll get that, and then we've got it's Sunday evening. I should have this posted up either tonight or tomorrow night. And then guess what comes? Tip Tuesday. Okay, so we'll get nice tips for you. If you've got tips, I'm going to let you comment on that video and then give me your tips, and we'll try to go through those as well. So again, we're going to build this community together. Thanks again for the 1,000 subscribers. We're already up to 1,009, and I haven't caught any more favors, so I figure that's pretty good. I actually got a welcome and thank you notice from YouTube today. So, all right, guys, thanks. Hey, and until next time, use your instincts to survive. Thanks for watching.